She was forced to give up the rich man to her younger sister and marry a poor village farmer instead. But on the day everything fell apart, the farmer they mocked turned out to be the richest man of all. If you love emotional stories filled with betrayal, family drama, shocking secrets, and sweet revenge, then you're in the right place. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another powerful story. Now sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's get into this unforgettable tale. Let's get into it. Before she died, Mrs. Obiora made 2 promises to her daughters. One daughter would marry into the Bello family, a rich and respected family in the city. The other would marry the son of a village woman who once saved baby Kemi's life when she was born too early. Years passed. Their mother died, but the promises remained. One evening, Mr. Obiora called his first daughter, Chika, into his room. Chika was 26, quiet, kind, and used to swallowing pain without making noise. Since her mother died, she had become even quieter. When she entered the room, her father looked serious. "You know about the 2 marriage promises your mother made," he said. "Yes, Daddy. I have decided. You will marry into the Bello family. Kemi will marry the village man." Chika looked at him in surprise, not because she cared about wealth, but because she knew Kemi would never accept it. Before she could speak, the door opened. Kemi walked in. Kemi was 24, beautiful, proud, and sharp-mouthed. She had the kind of presence that filled a room, and not always in a good way. "Why was Chika called alone?" she asked. Mr. Obiora looked at her. "You came at the right time. I was just explaining the marriage plans." Kemi folded her arms. "What plans?" "The Bello family will take Chika," he said. "You will marry the farmer." Kemi stared at him. Then she laughed. "You must be joking." "I am not." Her face changed at once. "There is no way," she said. "No way Chika will marry a rich man while I am sent to a village." Mr. Obiora frowned. "Mind your tone. How should I talk? You want to throw me into poverty and give Chika the better life." "This is not about a better life," he said. "That village promise was made because of you. You were the child that woman helped save. Your mother never forgot it." Kemi gave a bitter laugh. "So because one village woman helped me as a baby, I should now marry a poor farmer?" Mr. Obiora's face tightened. "Do not speak like that. And the Bello family is not as good as they look. There is trouble there." "What trouble?" "Enough trouble for me to say no." But Kemi was no longer listening. "All I know is that the Bellos are rich," she said. "They have class, comfort, and a name. Why should Chika get that while I go and suffer?" Chika finally spoke. "Kemi, Daddy is trying to explain." "Stay out of it," Kemi snapped. "You are already benefiting." Chika went quiet again. Mr. Obiora looked at Kemi with anger and disappointment. "You are being selfish." "And you are being unfair," Kemi shot back. "You have always liked Chika more." "That is not true." "It is true." Her voice rose, then suddenly it changed. It became colder. "Maybe it is even better this way," she said. "What if the Bello family finds out Chika cannot have children? Will they still want her?" The room went silent. Chika felt the words hit her like a stone. Mr. Obiora stood up at once. "Kemi." But Kemi kept going. "You are all acting like I said something strange. It is the truth. She cannot give any man a child, so why are we pretending?" Chika looked at her slowly. The pain in her chest was old, but it still hurt every time somebody touched it. Years earlier, Kemi had fallen seriously ill as a teenager. There had been heavy bleeding and panic. Their mother was already dead and their father was away. Chika had been the one running around the hospital, begging doctors to save her sister. In the middle of that crisis, Chika ignored her own stomachache, which kept worsening. She had to use the little money available for Kemi's treatment, ignoring her own body completely. Then one afternoon it got worse, and then she collapsed. What followed damaged her body badly. After the treatment and the complications that came later, the doctors told her she would never have children. Kemi knew that. She also knew why. Still, she stood there and used it against her. Chika's voice was low when she spoke. "You said that very easily." Kemi lifted her chin. Was it a lie? Mr. Obiora pointed at the door. Leave this room now. But Kemi did not move. No, she said. I will not leave until you change it. Chika should go to the village. I will marry Tundebello. That was the first time she called him by name. Tundebello, son of the Bello family, the rich man she had already chosen in her heart. Mr. Obiora shook his head. No. Kemi laughed again, but there was no joy in it. Daddy, this is not fair, and this is not the first time Kemi has stood in my way, Chika said. Kemi frowned. What does that mean? Chika faced her. You want to act innocent? What about Femi in secondary school? Chika's face changed. Mr. Obiora looked confused. Who is Femi? Chika answered before Kemi could. A boy who liked me. Kemi said nothing. Chika looked straight at her. He used to wait for me after school. Then suddenly he stopped talking to me and started following you. Later I heard you told him I was proud and already seeing somebody else. Kemi shrugged. He liked class. I gave him only a better option. Chika let out a dry laugh. So it was true. Kemi folded her arms. That was long ago. Yes, Chika said. And now you are doing the same thing again. Mr. Obiora looked ashamed, but Kemi only grew more stubborn. If I want something, I take it, she said. That is how life works. Then before anybody could stop her, she grabbed a fruit knife from the tray on the small table beside their father's bed. Kemi, Chika shouted. Mr. Obiora froze. Put that down. Kemi's eyes were wet now, but her hand was steady. If I do not marry Tundebello, I will kill myself here, she said. I mean it. Stop this nonsense, her father said, but his voice had changed. I said I mean it, she cried. Choose Chika again and watch what happens. Chika took a careful step forward. Kemi calmed down. Don't come near me. Mr. Obiora lifted both hands. Put the knife down first. No, say it first. He looked at Kemi, then at Chika. And Chika already knew what would happen. He would give in. He always did. After a long moment, Mr. Obiora spoke. Fine, he said quietly. You will marry Tundebello. Kemi lowered the knife at once. Chika did not look at her father. She could not. Something inside her had gone cold. Then she lifted her head and looked at her sister. You win, she said. Kemi wiped her tears. As I should. Chika nodded once. Yes, as always. She drew in a breath. Go ahead and marry Tundebello. I will go to the village. Mr. Obiora looked at her with guilt. Chika. But she did not let him continue. She faced Kemi fully. This is not the first time you have taken what should have been mine. You did it before, you are doing it again, so take it. Kemi's lips curved with pride. Chika's eyes stayed on hers. But do not regret it later. Kemi laughed. I will never regret choosing wealth. Chika said nothing else. She turned and left the room. She packed quietly that night. No one helped her. No one truly apologized. By morning, she was ready to leave. When the car drove her out, she sat in silence the whole way. She was not just going to marry a stranger. She was being given away because her sister wanted more. After a long drive, the car stopped. The driver turned back. Madam, this is where I stop. The road ahead is too bad. Cars do not pass there. Chika looked outside. The path ahead was rough and narrow. For a moment, she just sat there. Then she came down. Her suitcase felt heavier than it should have. Her heart felt worse. As she stood by the road, a woman's voice called out, You must be Chika. She turned. The woman standing there was in her late 50s, simply dressed, with kind eyes and a calm face. I am Grace Eze, she said warmly. Obina's mother. You can call me Mama Grace. Chika greeted her softly. Mama Grace smiled.